Hey everybody, thank you for joining us on the TWNRGY Podcast.
Thank you very much.
What? I just wanted to give you guys some tips on where to find us. The main thing, well, obviously you found us if you're watching this, but...
you found us, thank you. We were lost for a little while.
Search, first one is YouTube. Go on YouTube and search TWNRGY, TWNRGY. And also do the same thing on Facebook, search TWNRGY. And then also we have a Patreon account. Or first off, we have an Instagram account. Do it for the gram, y'all. Gram it up. Grammy season's coming up. Yeah, folks. Get those grams.
Award-winning.
Likes, comments, whatever. But yeah, search for us on Instagram. Search TWNRGY. And then also, Patreon. We have a Patreon account. That website is www.patreon, and it'll be /TWNRGY. And on Patreon, you'll be able to see our videos, and you'll have an opportunity to contribute if you'd like, whether it's monthly or a one-time contribution. There is expenses that are factored into this, whether it's posting and other things of that sort. But if not, feel free to continue to watch us for free and enjoy the material that we put out. And Adam has some other information in regards to how you can find us.
All right. The other things you could do to find a place to, say, listen to us on is go on Apple iTunes, go on that search bar, type in TWNRGY, TWNRGY, and then our podcast will pop up. Also, the same for Spotify. Just type in our TWNRGY name. It'll come up. And then go on Stitcher. It'll come up and you'll find us, and you could download an app for Stitcher and Spotify on your phone. This way it makes it easy to get there, on the go.
Yeah, if you have Apple, it's already on the phone, I believe.
Yeah, you already have the Apple iTunes app on there. So yeah, Apple, Android, whatever you have,
what
download
your affiliation, just
whatever site you find yourself on. Download Stitcher or Spotify app. Type in TWNRGY and you'll find us.
And once you do find us on YouTube, if you could subscribe, that'd be amazing. It's just as good as contributing financially sometimes.
You can subscribe on iTunes as well.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Don't forget that.
Leave comments, leave suggestions.
We're open for it.
Open, ready for any suggestions and comments that you may have. Just let us know. We'll continue to bring information about health and wellness. And just want to say thanks again for listening to us. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Adam Fernandez.
With the TWNRGY Podcast. Love you guys. Take care.
Take care. Love you.
No, it's just like maybe just some things, but thank you. Welcome to the TWNRGY Podcast.
What up?
Got Aaron, Adam, and our homie Steve over here. Just background on Steve. He had some health issues years ago, and long story short, was in a coma. And got out, and Adam and I, at least for me, I always see Steve as an inspirational person. Just everything he's done since getting out of the coma, he's just been, and like just whether he's pushing himself, like going to school, working out. I always see him, and I see people who are in a different situation physically who don't do half the things that Steve sees or does, which motivates me even more. Like, man, I can do anything I want for the most part, and I'm not going to be lazy and not do anything. But for me, long story short, Steve is an inspirational figure in my life, and I always try to let him know whenever I talk to him. But I don't know if Dad want to start it off. See what?
No, just waiting.
Or asking Steve whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Let me see. Gotta look over my questions. Didn't memorize anything. See. I guess the first one, how was your health before that led up to your incident and stuff?
So, I was constantly drinking, smoking weed, doing everything that I could to escape my home life. It wasn't not bad, but I just... So I was on the verge of becoming a diabetic, and when I went into the coma, I think I was 285. When I woke up, I was like 205 or something like that.
Ooh,
so
like a third of your weight.
Yeah, and the pills that they gave me elevated my blood sugar, and made me a diabetic, a full-blown diabetic.
Type 2? Like,
Yeah.
You had to do, were they doing dialysis on you? Insulin.
When I was in a coma, I had kidney failure, so they had to do dialysis. Coming out of it, though, I was taking insulin. I think my blood sugar was always up above 140 all the time. And then I just associated everything I was going through, just the stroke and the fogginess, but eventually they gave me more pills, up the dosage. I had high cholesterol, so I was really in the bad shape coming out of it, and I was going to the worst area, which was depression, anxiety, all that stuff was gonna be on the horizon. So
you saw it, you felt it, that it was gonna hit you like that?
Well, once you start taking narcos, gabapentin, and metformin for the diabetes, once you see this happening, you're gonna see. I remember thinking, "Whoa, I'm only 32. I'm on 3." And by the time I was 36, I was on 7 pills, and I knew like by 40, I don't even know if I'm going to make that, So I really thought like maybe like 40 is it for me. And when 36 happened, 37 happened, I really started to, against my doctor's orders, take less of everything that they were giving me, and I noticed the mental aspect of my life was coming back, and all this shit I was going through was enhanced by the use of pills. I really remember when I was taking gabapentin every other day, so every 3 days. On the 3rd day, before I took it, I remember like my emotional state was way better. And then once I took that half a pill, half of a half, I would maybe be in a shower crying. I was like, what the fuck is going on? There was a real reckoning. Something was going on. And then when I decided to get off of it entirely. I mean, I called you guys or texted you guys that weekend. I was like, it was a Sunday that we were talking at Yard House. And I was like, dude, guys, I'm going through the fog. Like I knew that everything was going to be better. I mean, you're talking about a dude in an electric wheelchair. Has, for the outside looking in, looks like he's holding them together, but I just wanted to die, and those thoughts were permanently deleted once I got through not taking any pill. So
that's good.
Yeah, because even like it affected your speech.
Yes,
like slurred. With all those prescription drugs.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah, but then just like we were talking earlier, the internal locus control versus the external, like you were letting the external affect you, like the daunting aspect of taking all those pills, but then you figure like, hey man, I'm going to take control of this internally and dictate how I feel, how I'm going to react, and what's going to make me feel better in the future.
One of the things that was so easy to do was that victim mentality.
We all do.
I was almost died. I'm going through a lot of pain. The doctors are prescribing me this, so it's not drugs. And once you get in there, all the lies that you're telling yourself become so much easier to just like,
I
do deserve this pill, you know, like, and no one's gonna judge me.
I need to feel better.
Yeah, so it was really a mind fuck to get out of that, and then start thinking for myself about my future too, and my kids' future, because you know they're gonna grow up without a dad, you know, like if I continue on this.
Because that's one question I wanted to ask you. Did you prior to this, or always, did you see yourself as a role model to your daughters? And if not, do you see yourself now?
Okay, yes, no. When I was going through my issues, I remember thinking, I just don't want them to be like me. I remember that. I remember like, and also like, you know, we just broke up, and it was, they were always wanting to go to their mom's house. Like I honestly, when I quit the pills, I asked myself this general question: do I like myself? And the answer was no. I didn't like myself, what I become, about like all the little things that I would blow up on and have no control over my actions, throwing shit, and it was a good thing to come to terms with that. I had a family meeting where I told my kids, "Hey, your dad is getting off the pills. I'm going to be agitated, but once I get through that, you'll see a new, improved version
of your dad."
Yeah, and I think it was 2 weeks in. My daughter was on the back of my wheelchair, and Alex. So she was 5 or 6, and she just leaned over and said, "Hey, Daddy, you're right. You are different." And she's like, I have a new daddy. And she was so excited about that. So with that said, I do. I know that I'm a huge influence on them. And me going to school, me going to the gym consistently, they see that. And the way I eat, we're gonna have more. They're gonna make the meals. It has to be, you know, with vegetables and all that stuff. But they're gonna. I hope that I'm getting this this right now. You know, for the first time in a while.
It's like almost like, just for me, seeing you in like all the different stages, like this different lives that you've lived.
Yeah. And they see this. So like, one of the things that I've been really preaching on is, you know, you can change. So you can, you know, eat shitty all the time, but once you decide you don't want to do that anymore, it's completely in your power to change it and just change your trajectory. So, yeah.
A lot of people don't see that. They're like, this is the way I am, so I've always been. I'm going to continue being like bad attitude or eating however I want, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Then like kind of just piggybacking on this situation, what was your biggest motivating factor to want to change?
I mean, well, okay. It probably seeing my ex lose her dad. And he was not young, but he was not old. But if I was to basically kill myself, the way I was going, either inadvertently or, you know, doing it on purpose, I would have to see that reaction. I wouldn't have to see that, but everybody will see that reaction times 3. So she came into my house and then screamed so like I can still hear it. And it was gut wrenching to see that. But I'm seeing my kids, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be. I'm gonna do that to them, so young. So that's where I was like, you know what, I need to. If I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it without the pills. And then everything was just. It was a revelation. It was like being born again, you know, it really was. Because if you were to see me, you know, a month prior and a month after that decision, you would see someone different. Same body, but it was a different mentality. And then going through 2018 was like the most pinnacle year of my life. I got to drive again, going to school. Dating came easier. Everything was okay, you know, and just being okay was fine.
Was that also when you stopped with the motorized wheelchair, and then you got you could get more strength with the actual wheelchair?
Yeah. Actually, I'm planning on ditching this soon. I need to. It's like a blanket right now. So
it's funny you say that because I remember how much of a enabler your electric wheelchair was. And then here you have this where you're still
same thing.
Where you just have like a cane that you're trying to get around.
A quad cane. Yeah. I have two, and like I said, I'm gonna have my quad cane actually at my girlfriend's house, and the plan is I just will leave my wheelchair outside.
What about a walker? Will you start off with a walker or anything? Or?
It didn't work because of my right arm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had it, but I think I broke it, the brace, because the tone just like, so yeah, I broke it. So quad cane, I have enough balance for that. Yeah, and again, eventually the pin cane, you know, so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, and then I guess another kind of question.
Hold on 1 second, I just want to stop you good.
All right. And with all these major changes, kind of maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, what do you imagine yourself doing? Like getting back into the workforce, like finishing up school, having like a career?
Yeah, probably within 5 years I'll transfer. The pipe dream is go to Loma Linda. And then if that doesn't work out, either Cal Poly or further this way, Long Beach. Yeah.
For college?
Yeah. So 5 years, 10 years, yes, I will re-enter the workforce again and start building clientele or just manage
Like individuals who are
like
or an office,
like Loma Linda has a food plan, like that food plan.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate goal. So someone that works there, I'm gonna take their job.
Yeah,
do it, man.
Everybody's replaceable.
Yeah.
One thing, just kind of go back to the whole Coma thing. I know we've kind of talked about this one in the past, but in the past we talked about like, did you hear anything? Well, my thing is to you. Did you feel or know that you're in a coma? If so, did you feel compelled to do what you can do in your head to try to try to wake up?
So no, I didn't know how I was in a coma. The thing was, I closed my eyes and woke up.
Because you coherently went into the coma. You told
was it medically induced?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's even more of a mind app.
No, because the way it was described to me, when I woke up that day, I was still okay. And then I spent 3 days in the hospital and walking around, joking around, like I was me.
But you were drugged up, you think, because you don't remember it?
when they was Pro Football.
Michael Jackson stuff.
Yeah.
That will wipe some memory back. So that 3 days I can't remember because there's another agent that they gave me to wipe your memory because you're going through so much pain and they don't want you to remember that.
That's insane that they can do that stuff.
I know. I wish they didn't because there's a lot of issues that I have. Like I don't know.
Did it affect your long-term memory thing as well?
No, everything is okay. Short-term memory that I have an issue right now with.
Oh, even going forward?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought it was just
that's a stroke though.
So
So it's a mixture of a lot of different things that have occurred over the past 7 years.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to decipher.
Or pinpoint. It was this. It was like
yeah. So it was just cool because I'm everything because I was always asking everybody like, did this happen? They're like, yeah. I was like, okay, just make sure because in the coma state I was in, I had like 4 dreams that were 3 days in duration. So it was 12.
They had 12 days worth
of dreams, and I was like, so when I did wake up, and they did tell me the date. I remember it was Osama bin Laden was killed on the.
That's the you woke up.
And I was like, that's I'm still in a coma because we're never gonna catch this guy.
Well, that's what I asked you. Like, how did you feel when you woke up? Like, what were you like? Did you feel as though it was like a day, or like, you're like, what's going on?
It was just like a day, and then
really? There's
a lot of crazy ass dreams I remembered, but I was like, okay, those are dreams because I obviously was not a hostage in
you're a hostage of your own mind at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And all the nurses were always saying, like, you live for something. And I used to say, like, I don't think so. I'm just, maybe my kids, But now, the further along I get, I feel like I'm here for a purpose, and I don't, even if it's just to help my kids through a troubling time in the future. That's what it is, and all the experiences that I've personally gone through. You can only shed light to someone that's willing to hear the story, but it's never. I'm never gonna say, to my daughters, I tried every drug on the moon. You can't do that. I'm there to help them facilitate whatever uncomfortable thing that we.
There's always a path. There may be 2 million pathways. But more than likely, one of those pathways.
Only a few of them are like the right ones that are going to lead you towards making the right decisions further down the road.
Yeah, so don't get discouraged at 1,999,999 because that 2 millionth time might be the time or the right path that helps you to where you need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people give up so easily. Because I always think like David Goggins, like people, and I see it more so at least with Americans. Like people are so comfortable. People want to be bundled up. People want to go be able to get what they want, when they want, wherever they want, whether it's ordering from Amazon, buying things. But a lot of us don't want to be uncomfortable. And I think it kind of stems from that. And then so people don't want to try to better themselves because then they start working out and they get sore, or they start, they figure, they just get discouraged very easily. And it's all about the mindset that can help you in your journey.
Do you feel as like with all this that's gone on, because I've seen just the change in your personality over the past 15 years that we've known you, but do you feel like a different mindset for yourself over the past 2 years since do you feel more positive, or that things are getting better? As at one point you said earlier, you felt as though you were a victim and you were enabling yourself.
Yeah.
Do you feel as that there's more places for you to go, more positive mindset or not?
It's harder, I think, the further along I go on this journey, just because it's so easy to go back to the old me.
Yeah.
It's so easy to like, a bag of chips,
Yeah, I'll go back to my motorized wheelchair, drinking, smoking, whatever.
So with that said, it's hard because no one wants to wake up at 5 in the morning to go to the gym at 6 when I open. But having the gym open though makes it easier to get into that mindset again. But yeah, you're gonna always relapse but it's just what you do tomorrow will dictate the week. Like if you want to just watch Netflix all day, well, it's gonna be even more harder to go to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
So just, I honestly, if I think of like that, I will punish myself in the gym. I will okay, now you're just doubled up everything. So that makes me not want to think like that. Just because it's gonna hurt. Because I'm gonna push myself. And I'm gonna go back, eat something, and a couple hours we're gonna go back because I will not reward that kind of mental makeup. So I'm trying to get there, and I'm definitely better, but I could be even better. So yeah.
Yeah, just definitely, like I said earlier, through the years, like even more now, you just seem like more refined, like what you're saying. Like maybe you go off the wheels and say some crazy stuff, and now you're like more like introspective and thoughtful towards what you're saying, rather than just saying crazy things.
Well, I think it's being around so many young people in college, and honestly, this shit I was saying, they're like, hey, you can't say it. I'm like, well, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely made me more aware. There's other people that may not look like they're suffering anything from anything, but they are. And you can easily trigger something with the wrong
inconsiderate. Whether you're joking or not.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just joking.
I'm gonna stop real quick and start it back up. And then just kind of going back to what Adam was saying, like for me, my thoughts of you all the time, even like pre getting sick, like you're always joking around, giving someone a hard time, whether it's sports and you're talking about the Raiders, we're talking about the Chargers
or UFC or whatever.
Yeah, you always seemed positive, and you had that. I don't know. In the beginning, it was just like maybe I don't know what's going on, but you always seemed happy, regardless of what was going on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And then even I remember even with some of the just going to visit you. That's where I thought, man, Steve's gonna wake up and we're gonna talk about the Chargers, we're gonna the Raiders, we're gonna talk about UCLA, whatever the case may be. And it was just, I had never seen you that way. But then also when you got back out, when you woke up, you were still that optimistic person.
Yeah.
And seeing it doesn't seem as though you ever changed than what you said earlier. You even though you did have a positive facade, internally you weren't happy. Then my thing to you, now that you've kind of gotten past that, how do you stay positive? What's not the motivation aspect, your daughter's kind of motivating you, but how do you remain positive, still dealing with strife on a daily basis?
It just, honestly, it just comes back to how you view things. It's basically that simple. You can, like I was telling you earlier, the clouds, it's kind of cold, but there's people in their life that will look at this kind of condition.
Yeah.
And they will push themselves on a hike. Or so being surrounded by positive thinkers too. I think I'm shedding a little bit of the negative friends that we. Having that good core.
Yeah.
We're gonna build on. I have a couple of buddies from college that they're always gonna uplift me if I am feeling down. So
that's cool.
It's just change your surroundings, or else it's gonna be the same old, right?
Yeah, just like there's no friends that say to other friends like, "Oh, we're poor. We're all gonna be poor." It's like if you think that you're not gonna get out of that, that situation you're in, if you take the steps towards it, and you're not thinking of yourself as a poor person, and like you could be rich, you could not have a lot of money, and you could still be rich, because you have love and friends and everything in your family. But yeah, it's just.
I think I'm the richest poor man on the planet. I have a good girlfriend, good kids. They're awesome kids. I can't complain. I mean, what good is it to complain about anything?
Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah. So I just if I'm having those negative thoughts, I really will beat myself up. I was like, okay, let's change this. Just change it. You can.
But I think it's good every once in a while to maybe vent. If you're like maybe someone will give you up, like, hey man, like I don't know, I just keep on beating myself up when I'm doing X, Y, or Z. But like, well, hey man, what I try to do, and like, well, I try to think positive. I try to visualize what I'm going to. I visualize my reaction to be a positive reaction, so you can get feedback from somebody. But for me, I try to keep that positive.
I think you're right about venting, and venting to a good friend, but just venting. Make sure that that's it. You do it, and then you're about to face, and then you're
back to that.
Going, because you can do that. Because there's the saying, "Misery loves company," for a reason. If you surround yourself by people that are miserable too, then you can just be in the misery spiral till I gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do the same thing. So it's really easy to do that. I think. So.
I agree, because one of the books Adam and I were reading, they kind of just touched point on like negative comments. Like they would say, like, "Oh, the groceries are too expensive. Every time I come to the grocery store, this is more expensive. That's why." Like they just. My point is that once you say one negative thing, it's easy it snowballs to multiple negative things. But then think of it in a positive way. It's like, oh, all right, the eggs are cheaper this week than they were last week. That's good. Oh, I'm able to get to the store and find everything I want and get out of there as quickly as possible. Like it's about you're in the similar situation, but thinking of the positive aspects as opposed to the negative.
Well, it's also catching yourself when you're in that negative. Like, sometimes I'll talk with friends, and then I'll realize, oh shoot, I'm saying like a lot of negative stuff, or like just talking about a sports team or whatever. And then I like try to catch myself and try to like, okay, let me switch the subject and go towards something else.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
because I just. Or even other people, I've noticed other people noticing it and say, okay, this is going, that we're just talking negative, let's, like, legit, it's just, like, it was upfront by saying that, and then we're just like, okay, we'll change the subject, because everybody's in a negative mindset talking bad things about this, that, or the other.
Yeah, and then I guess when I have, like, a situation that happened with, pick my girlfriend and myself.
Yeah.
Happened. I always will say, I'll try to do this. Just look at it from her perspective. Yeah. So I'm trying to. It's gonna be narrowed to. I'll obviously I don't want to be wrong, but But I would say she did this because of this. Like I understand. always try to understand what is she's going through. And there's always to have the relationship work. You have to be honest with yourself about where she's coming from, or else you're not gonna, you'll have that argument that will go over and over, circles, because you're gonna be coming from your angle, she's gonna come from, and you're just a circle of bullshit.
And that's smart. I'll be honest. That's something I don't put into practice. Sometimes I do, but putting myself into somebody else's shoes and coming from their perspective. Because just like you, I want to be right, and I got whether I want to get my point across, whether I want to let them know what they've done. It's hard for me. I never really made it a point to look at something through somebody else's perspective, because I'll say that'll help you resolve your problem a lot quicker, and maybe even internalize or be introspective about yourself, like, all right, why am I being such an a-hole, or whatever the case may be. So and I know, and sometimes, but even thinking about it in that regard, I still see it, but then maybe I just don't want to be wrong. I don't want to admit my fault.
I mean, it's hard to say, hey, I messed up. I really, and I'll tell you this story off camera, but something happened. It was I mean, I had to own up to it, and it was not like it was not easy, but I owned up to it. We're working through it, and
And the one other thing I was going to ask you, is there one physical therapy, one protocol, or one specific supplement which you feel has, I'll say, assisted you in being a better version of yourself?
So CBD, I think, is huge for me, because I have neuropathy. I can't feel my feet, the bottom of it. But the shin area is, it's like lightning bolts. When I was coming out of my coma, but I remember having my leg jumped up because it hurt so bad, someone just shocked me, and it would wake me up constantly. When I was transitioning to not taking any pills, those sensations came back. But the CBD I take, I remember the first time I took it, telling myself, if I can manage with this amount of pain, is subtle, I think I'm going to be okay, And the first time in a 12-hour period, I was on the road to recovery, I could see that I was going to the right place, So CBD is huge. And once you eliminate your pain, then you're just living life. So now you can add shit. You can add working out and eating better, and whatever else comes to mind.
And then just kind of going off what you said, once you're feeling better, but then it goes to knowing your limitations. Not saying just because you have the issues with your shin that you can't, people will use that as an excuse to not work out at all. But then you say, all right, well, what can I do? I can do that body bicycle, where it's just your arms instead of your chest. Or you can do anything cardio aspect, whether you're doing the rows or you're doing weights, just upper body. It's knowing your limitations and finding something else, another alternative to staying fit.
And honestly, I don't want to harp too much on pills, but I'm sure there's someone out there right now that they will look at me and say, "Oh, well, he got through it, but I need this for this pain I'm experiencing. Otherwise, I can't manage. But that's the negative mindset that we're talking about. You can, because obviously, just because I did, I'm telling you, it's just you can limit that exposure, and I think one of the things I was noticing, my diabetes, we didn't even talk about it. That's completely gone now.
Oh wow! Did you cure your diet? And congratulations.
Yeah, yes, and diet, the keto thing, it worked for a long time. Now I'm trying to get everything incorporated. Eat carbs in the morning, and then
get the energy.
But you can do it. And you slowly just limit those things. And I'm telling you, the diabetes, I think, personally, I think it was caused by the Norcos I was taking, which caused the neuropathy, which caused the gabapentin. They had to up it. So, and then eventually it was Xanax, and because it's anxiety and high cholesterol.
It's one thing leads to another. Having to take this pill,
snowball, effect. And if you can, there's certain medical conditions that you obviously you have to take. Like blood thinner, you can't fuck around with that. Like if you have a blood thinner area, like I get that. But it just if Steve Smith can get off of a pill, or I have an addictive personality as it is. If I can do it, and everybody can do it. So.
What about the drinking? Because I know last time we saw you said you were staying away from it.
Yeah, I'm good. Last night was a Halloween party, so I have a couple of drinks.
You're still limited.
Yeah. Actually, going further forward, I don't think. I think I was gonna be once a month. So like that. That's where I'm gonna. Even then, like I can see myself going 6 months and looking back, and it's like, oh, I didn't drink.
Be more responsible.
Yeah, just till I get my body where I want to go with it. I don't think it's gonna serve any purpose for me right now. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to touch on? No, I think that kind of answers all my questions. Just then I guess there's one thing that's interesting. Before, I think it was like the week or maybe even days before, because I think you went to the hospital on a Tuesday, right? When everything happened?
Something like that.
Because I remember that Saturday before, we were at your place when you were staying at Clena's friend's house.
Yeah.
And we were watching, I think, a John Jones UFC fight. And I remember you going to the backyard smoking the cigarettes and stuff, or whatever you were smoking. And we were just hanging out and drinking and watching the fights. And then 2-3 days, just goes to show, you never know what could be lying right around the corner. As if you're hanging out, having a good time on that Saturday, then come Tuesday, boom, things just hit like a brick wall.
And I was actually sick for that following week. I was sick, and then obviously doing that on that day, it just by the next day I was so messed up from that. Because smoking when you're sick is stupid. And then I think it was Wednesday when everything, I couldn't even breathe anymore. So my blood oxygen level was 85. So all this stuff with COVID, I'm telling you, I lived through it, because they had me on the ventilator.
You're one of those types.
Same thing, yeah. So, H1N1 for my vote is probably one of the most deadliest viruses that doesn't get talked about.
That's awesome.
You know, I know like a half a million people died around the world.
Mm-hmm.
The swine flu thing.
Yeah, 2009 to 2011. But yeah, that was, and a lot of people got it, and it messed them up. They robbed them of their permanent oxygen level content going through. So pneumonia is no joke. So yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I'll say leave it to you. Did you have any questions? Did you want to ask anything? I don't want to.
Anything you want to talk about?
Anything you want to talk about? I want to just beat up you, and you just be the punching bag.
Just all right. No, we'll talk about it.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, but yeah, you're definitely inspiration, and just kind of see where you've gone since that 8 years ago, into like what you're doing now and wanting to better yourself for the future.
Yeah, and like just to reiterate, like, I just remember like through all the stages of everything, I always see you with a smile on your face. Like majority of the time, obviously you don't always have a smile on my face, but I always see you being that jovial, happy, optimistic, positive. Regardless of what's going on internally, you're that figure for me, and I'm sure the girls as well. And then, like you said, it's always good to have those people in your life that we can feed off one another. Like when we each have bad days, like I see you're optimistic, I'm pessimistic today, but then vice versa. It's just like I say, you're that figure in my life, one of those figures.
Well, you guys, for me, yeah, I love the fact that you guys set goals and attain them. So I'm gonna rob a little inspiration from you guys.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us at TWNRGY Podcast. Again, I'm Adam, Aaron, and Steve. And love you all. Love you.
Cool. Thanks.